Hi everyone, welcome to my 150 hours of chess. And today is day 7. Last week, I learned Italian opening and Sicilian defense. I find that Sicilian defense is quite difficult for me because it's very flexible and have a lot of variation. So this week, I will focus on practice Sicilian defense and try to understand it a bit more, and don't learn other opening. And let's see if I remember the Sicilian defense. After that, I'll still do 20 minutes of puzzles and 1 hour and a half playing games. Cool. Yeah, I find that it's actually better for me to flip the board so that I'm actually see from the black side. Because I remember when I tried to remember the game, like the opening from the white, that when the board is flipped, that I just can't um, remember. The Sicilian defense is e4, c5. And then from here on, there are a few variation. The first one is the closed one, which is knight c3. Um, the next protecting the pawn, control the center, which don't immediately start the fight in the center, and that's why it is called closed variation. If they get the knight f3, that would be more like opening variation. Knight control the center, preparing for the d-file pawn push up. So there are a few things that the black could do. One thing is d-file pawn push up, protecting, like supporting the c-file pawn, preparing for them to push their d-file pawn and attacking my c-file pawn. And that variation is called d6. Is called open variation. The whole open variation is d6, d4, take d4, knight take d4. And I did think about this position. I think what I would do next would be something like push the e pawn, or like get the knight out. And there is also another variation in the open variation, which is e4, c5, knight f3. I think the other one is drop the knight. Let me double check. Knight f3, knight c6, knight c6. Yeah. Get the knight out, control the same space. Also preparing for their d-file pawn push up. And after that, they still push the d-file pawn, challenge the center. And that is the other open variation. I did thought about that, of what to do. I roughly remember, hmm, I was thinking about taking as well, and they could take it. And at this point, I feel like jump the knight would make more sense. Because I don't want them to take my knight. But if I take their knight, they can just use the queen, and then at that point, the white would control all the center, whereas black, I've got nothing developed yet. So I think jump the knight here would be save my knight and also make their pawn come push further. And also the Sicilian Defense that I came across on Friday is e4, e5, knight f3. No, is that? I can't remember exactly, sorry. I want to see my yeah, I play both games as black that I use Sicilian Defense. I feel like the first one might be just a close variation. The second one is the Butler attack. I remember Butler attack is they get their bishop out. E4, C5, bishop C4. So they get the bishop out, could push the pawn up, supporting both. They're controlling the center. And I think I try to think about the situation. Yeah, they also attacking the square, which is the quite weak spot for the black. As black, I could, I could push the pawn here, attacking both, but also that won't be very attack, even though it's like protected by my queen. So my thought would be push the e5 pawn up, preventing them to directly attack on the f5 pawn, and then preparing to push for the d5 pawn. So that's what I'm thinking. Don't remember what did I do. Oh, I got my knight out, which sort of makes sense because that attacking the center, and yeah, I still do this. But I think if I came across this again, I will first push the e5 pawn and then push here and immediately start to attack the center. And yeah, so that is the first few variation that I came across in the Sicilian Defense. For the games this week, I will if I play as white, I will go with Italian opening, and if I play as black, I will play Sicilian Defense and try to practice more on that opening. Yeah, so that's the opening for today, and I'm going to do 20 minutes of puzzles. This game has just started, but already there is a way to play checkmate with your queen, support by your bishop. Can you find it? It's here. This position shows the fastest checkmate possible. Can you find the final move? Feel like a queen, and what I'm thinking is that how do they get into this position? Because that is a very interesting position to get into. Checkmate. It's my turn as black. Knight out. Check. Mate. Yeah, knight out should be checkmate. Big chess. My turn as black. White move the rock, attacking my queen, protecting by the bishop. I have two knights, a queen, and a bishop. They only have a queen and a rock. I don't want to lose my queen, that is for sure. Can I take it? I don't have anything that would be able to take it. So I should move my queen. Or can I check their king? I might could check their king here. Though if I move my knight here, check their king, the king have to move. Likely move to here. And that will be, knight will be protected by my queen. So I can't drop it to the last rank to check it. I don't think, let me think again, because I don't think that is a great move. Knight move to here. This knight is still protected by the pawn. So that should be fine. Knight goes to f2. Give it a check. Can't be taken by anything. King have to move to g1. Attacking the knight. I will have to move my queen, otherwise the rock would take the queen. Or to give here a check, I mean, I can jump to here, but their bishop could directly take it. Oh, wait, that would be 2 check. Because knight moved to here, there will be a discover check for the king. And also knight would check the king. And no matter what they do, they can't get away with it. That's really cool. Yeah, king have to move. So now I can push my queen here, protected by my knight, and then a checkmate. Currently, knight is protected by my rock. Knight is protected by my rock. Knight is protecting my queen. Rock is hanging, but also preventing their pawn to push to the end file. Their pawn and knight attacking my queen. Rock in the middle, protected by the queen. Here is a rock attacking my knight. A knight is pinned to the king. What can I do? My queen is under attack. Nothing could take this knight. I have to either give them a check or move my queen. If I move and take their rock, if they take it with queen, my knight could directly take. So they wouldn't do that. If they do something else, like rock take knight, I guess I can take their queen, so they will have to move their queen. What would be a good position to move? Here is not great because my queen will be attacking there. So as here. Here and here would be rock. Here and here is rock and the queen. So they would have to drop back. Or here. No, they would have to drop to here or here because my queen would control here. Still, even though it seems like the rock is protected, but it's actually not in this case, because if they do use a queen to protect it, that would be a queen for a rock. No, actually. Yeah, that would be a queen for a rock, because I can use my knight to take. No, I can't. They would be down the rock. And now they move their queen. I can use my knight to take. And in this case, after this, they will be down rock. I have a rock here, a queen here, and a rock protected by the queen. bishop protected by the queen, also protected by the rook. They have a bishop looking this diagonal, and two rook connect to each other. They move their queen, attacking my queen. There are a few things I can do. I take the queen, they take my queen. We will be same amount of piece, with them controlling an open file, and also bishop control quite open diagonal. If I think I can use something to try to attack it a bit. If I push my rook here, just block it, and then use my bishop up, the queen would be pinned to the king. They can't move it. They might have to take it. I feel like that might be a better idea. Now, the question is that, do I want to use the rook here or use the rook here? If I move the FL rook up, then do I still this clear? They can directly drop to here, threaten to take the bishop and the king. Well, if I drop it to here, that would be the same. So this is currently here, controlling the center, preventing this push further. I'm not quite sure which one would be better, like which rock would be better to move. None of that is what they're thinking. Oh, if I directly go here, that would directly pin the queen to the king, so the queen can't move. So I don't have to worry about involving something to block. They move their king, try to take my rock. After my rock move, they can push their pawn. I can push further. Or I can just take this. After the king take me, I can take their rock and then take their pawn, and then I can just try to block the king in this view file, and then start to use my king to protecting my pawn. I attack the king, they take me, I have 2 knight, 2 rock. And well, 2 rock is connected. And also a queen here. But my 2 knight is not. Well, my knight is under attack. And also my queen is under attack. It's not really a good position because their rock is connect and their knight is protected by the pawn. King in the center, queen here ready to move out in either diagonal. I feel like the best choice would be give them a check. Just trying to get some of their attention. Move the knight to here, protected by the pawn. Give them a check. They would use the knight to take. And then I mean, I could take it with either pawn. Well, my knight and the queen is hanging. I'll have to move my queen. I can't stay in this do you call it file or rank? This file can't go here, can't go here. And I'll still lose my knight. But also, they would have time to drop their knight. And I can move my knight. I will be 1 knight down. Another thing I can do is after they move their knight, I can directly give them a check through the nice to meet you. I'm just trying to learning chess at the moment. Still fairly low ELO. Currently playing some puzzles, and later on I'm trying to play some game. Yeah, I'm currently trying to figure out how this puzzle would work. My thought would be knight d4, give them attack, and if they use knight to take it, I can push my rock to f2, give them a check, and maybe screw the queen behind it. But also at the same time, my queen is under attack, and also my knight is under attack, and none of them is supported. I'll try it. Okay, that is develop my knight, give the king a check. They use the pawn to take me. I have 2 bishop, a queen here, control the center, a bishop here, not controlled, also attacked by the queen. and also bishop here, also under queen's attack. But they control these diagonal. Bishop here, they have two rock also not connected. A knight here, protected by the queen, and the bishop here. If they don't take it, I can push my queen up. I have a few thoughts. Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to improve. I played a little chess because my ex was into it after the Queen's Gambit. I didn't like actually learn it. So this time I thought I would actually follow the progress, doing puzzles and try to figure out the position, and also start to include some openings so it could get me into the middle game with a more solid position. So that is where I am. How about you? Yeah, so what am I gonna do about this game? Um, if I am in the game, I think I would do castle, because that could bring the rock into the center. Um, and also protecting my king, which also give me some situation of I could control the center. But seeing that is a puzzle, they probably have better thinking. Oh yeah, my other thought would be probably not there, but bring my bishop back a little so it's not under immediate attack. But I'm trying to think something that would be more tactic. Queen could go to here, give the king a check. Yeah, yeah. When you say engines, I imagine you say something like the AI thing that on this side give you suggestions on what is the best move. Yeah, I use that a lot as well. I think it's a really good idea to see some moves because a lot of the time I didn't thought I blunder as well, but apparently my opponent set it up for me like 2, 3 moves ago, and I was like, oh, I didn't see it. So it's always nice to have someone or the engine pointed out to be like, hey, you missed this, or like here's meta move. Yeah, that's fair. Um, I feel like I could do this. Um, that would, because none of the things they have in hand could block me. So king have to move. They can't move here because the bishop is controlling that square. So they would have to either move to here or here. After that, what can I do? I can't take anything. I feel like I could move the bishop to here, attacking the king, but that would immediately take by the queen or knight. That doesn't help me as much. Yeah. In this position, what can I do? I could long castle. In that way, the rock will be here. Still, I have to imagine that my two bishops are hanging. Though if they do take either, their knight will be hanging. I can take their knight. So that would be sort of equal. Or I could even prompt them to take it, but in this case, the king could take it. I think I can castle to see if they take anything. And then I can take their knight. And also, if I do long castle to get the rock to the d file, that would also controlling d2. So, yeah. No, that is not what I think. Are they thinking about try to use a fork to kind of force their queen to go? But what if their king take? Then, like, I still can't take their knight. But also, at this point, if I castle, that would directly give them a check. They do have, no, they do have a few places to go. Any thought of what I can do here? I'm currently at 500 ELO. Push this up. Oh, I think I saw one. Queen to F2, give them a check, protected by my bishop. Is that what you were thinking? That's great instinct. Yeah, I think that's for the puzzle, and I'm now going to play 1 hour and a half, or more like 1 hour and 20 minutes of 10 minutes rapid game. Um, I so far learned two openings. One is Italian, one is Sicilian. I am fairly confident with Italian opening because it's like more steps in the openings and have less to think about. With Sicilian is kind of like a opening that give a lot of options for the black to play. So now for this week, I'm going to play Italian as white and play Sicilian Defense as black, and also try to practice more on Sicilian. And yes, okay, play as black. I'll try Sicilian. The Queen's Pawn opening. That is not a good setup for the Sicilian. I will just try to see where they're gonna go. Push default pawn up. I reckon I might do the same. There are two thoughts. If I pawn up, mimic their behavior and see where they're gonna go from there. Other thought, bishop f6, protecting my pawn, attacking their center pawn. But in that case, they could have just pushed their pawn up, attacking my knight. So my knight would have to go again. And then if they get a pawn here, that would be hard for me to develop other things, I think. I mean, in that case, I can just push the e-file pawn up. I like developing my pieces first and see how that goes. And in this case, I think I might get my bishop out, just trying to see which position would be better. And I don't quite like it. They are like having a line up. Either that, or I can take their pawn, and then they can take it. They controlling the center. I can use my knight to take it. And what else can I do? Yeah, I feel like this would probably be the better, just to reduce some difficulty. Just try to make sure that I'm not taken by anything. They get their knight out, protecting the pawn, but also they didn't get to this space, which is interesting. If I push e-file up, e-pawn up, add pressure to here as well. If they take it, my queen take their queen. If they stay here, I feel like I'm happy to just develop from here, get my bishop out. I mean, I can also get my knight out first. They're thinking. Yeah, this is a opening that I haven't like studied before. it would be interested to think what the other things I can do. They get their knight to c3, attacking my knight, and I reckon I could take it back. That would also, well, that will make them to line up in the center, but that do means that if I take it, they can just take back, and there won't be a immediate queen trade, and then I can get my knight out. I feel like I would take it. Well, they can also develop their knight. Forgot about it. Anyway. Now if I take their pawn, that would also attacking their knight. And they don't have other choice other than use the queen to take it. Push this pawn up, protecting it. Also, that would be protected by my bishop, which is a choice. With the knight here, there is a few places that they can go. These places would attacking my king. Here could have a fork, but both of these places are controlled by the queen or pawn. I don't think I have to worry about it too much at the moment. I feel like I would just push the pawn and then use the bishop to take it. And then now I can develop my knight or castle. What other things I can do? That's a attack. I was thinking about develop my knight, which would also sort of block, and also is protected by the pawn. And I'm currently up a piece. Well, at this point, I can develop my bishop first before castle. That would block the queen and also protected by the pawn. Another thing is that I can try to force a queen trade because I'm currently up a piece, and if yep, I did lost a few games on time. I'll try not to. I can force a queen trade because I'm up one piece, and if I can manage to trading the same, that means that by the end game I will have one piece up. I reckon I would try to force trade. Let's see what they're gonna do. Oh, I guess in this case I can't castle now. Well, I guess I'll get my rock to the center and then move my king back. They managed to castle. Yeah, I'll go here. For the next step, they try to attack my king. I'm just gonna move it. Oh! Oh my god! I didn't see that. Too much focus on that. Okay. Well, this is centerpiece is protected by my knight. Not to worry. I could push the pawn up, attacking their bishop. That was protected by my pawn. Oh my god. And now my rock is full. Okay. I would move it to connect my rock, and I feel like here could be good. Also, I could take their pawn. Now I'm down pieces. Good thing is that I do have a pass pawn, so I can just try to push it to the end after I take that pawn. What else I can do? It's also hanging because the knight here protecting it got taken. Well, I also have to be aware I push it under the attack of rock. What do I want to save? I could drop it, protecting the rock. That means I would get it off the attack, and also that would be a trade. Or I could take their rock. If they take back, that would be sort of equal. Or I can just move my rock, let them take my bishop. I feel like I would get it back. So now it's approaching the end game. And also I'm down a lot of time. So here is a sort of classic rock and bishop endgame. Yeah, I'm trying to hold on to the last. As long as they don't check me, I'll develop this. I'll promote this. I think they're struggling trying to check me. I mean, with them, if they are not familiar with endgame, I feel like the thing they can do is just to trying to take all my pawn. No, dropped onto here, that I could directly take it. I feel like I could just trying to take all the pawn. Once this is a queen, then they will have to move to this part. And then I can try to probably start to take their piece and also try to check them as much as I could. Yeah, that would be a queen and bishop endgame. Okay. If they move on to here, I could go to here, check. If they move on to here, I could just, I could what? I could go onto here, pin the, do you think I can manage to, wait, check in the last, I can go to here, bishop, take the bishop next, depends on where they go. They goes here. I think I can use my bishop to check. That would drive the king away. What else can I do? I can goes here, give them another check, and then take a pawn, I guess. Move to here, give them a check. Take it. The white went. Oh! You are right. I lose on time. Have to be more careful next time. But I think I'm fairly close to win. It's a shame that I blunder 2-piece during the game. But also this opening I haven't seen before. Trade the knight, opponent blunder, and you could have checked with the queen on h4. Let me see. Trade the knight. Opponent blunder, and you could have checked with the queen on h4. Check with the queen on h4. They go to h4. Pawn could push up. And then what? Queen take. They could directly take with pawn. Goes to here. Bishop would go. Move to here as a queen. Move to here. No, I can't because the pawn will be here. I don't quite get it. Because, I mean, and I take it with knight. Wait, you mean knight g3? And they take back with pawn. I take the pawn here. Give them a check. And they would have to move their king. I mean, that's interesting. But also my queen. Oh, not taking it, but directly take here. So that would be queen h4, checking the king. White push the pawn up. Knight take the pawn. Um, Pawn take the knight. I take the rook. That's really smart. My brain is completely not see this. What? How much ELO are you? Can't remember if you mentioned it before. That's a really good suggestion. $2,000. I think that is a quite advanced level. Is that like reaching the, how do you say the word? Like the titled Mount of ELO? Because I imagine to reach 2000, you might have to actually actively learning and playing for 10 years, at least. A few people that I know that is around 2000 ELO that they play since probably high school. That's thank you for pointing that out. I completely not see this. Um, Good point. Cool. I will start another game. Yeah, I might have to focusing more, and yeah, I might not be able to say as much, pay as much attention in the chat. Um, Right, I'll do Italian. Pawn e4. No way they play Sicilian. Okay. What opening do I want to choose for them? Um, this will be close, and this will be open. I will go open for them, just to see if they get their knight out or push the pawn. Knight out, controlling the center. I feel like I would do the same. Okay. Oh, I would take it. Yeah, I'll move my knight, I think. Or if I don't, I will use the b5 pawn take it. Or I can develop the bishop at this point, preparing to attack their f7 pawn. Also, I can castle. I feel like I will let their knight take me, and I would develop the bishop here. I think next step, I'm gonna castle first, so that my king is safe. Currently, knight is blocking the weak spot. They move to there, attacking this fierce place. Though all of it is protected, so I am not too worried. Feel like they could think of this, try to fork my king and bishop. For the next, they are attacking these 3 pieces, or could also be here at the same time. this spot, my knight could take it. Then their pawn take it. My knight could drop to somewhere. And then in that case, I can push my d5 pawn up. Could be a good. I don't know if that is a blunder of them. And then because after this, I can also develop my bishop. That would also protecting my knight. Okay, they add more onto that pawn. Push the c5 pawn up, attacking the knight, and also put pressure here and see what they do. Yeah, I would like to remove it. They get their knight back, protecting it. If I do take it, then they take back this pawn, and then in that case, I can at least move my bishop to f4. That's not a bad idea. The good thing is that they don't have the d5 pawn now, so I don't have to worry about that. I will walk into the pawn goes here, goes to the d5, and then walk my knight and bishop. Their bishop attacking my queen. I mean, I could move my queen, or move my queen to here would pin the knight to the king. And I just realized their bishop is not protected. So if I use my queen to take g4, it's a free piece. Also free, not a piece. Develop the bishop, protecting the pawn, and also they do have a weak point not being protected. That will give them a check. And then what else can I do? Or my knight could take the bishop, give them a check. Get my queen here, protecting the knight, protected by the bishop, give them a check. Here is a checkmate. That's stressful. Yeah, I think after I do this, that translates into a close Sicilian game. Yeah, it was a nice game. I think they might just didn't see it and blunder their queen, because later on, when they try to attack my queen using the bishop, like here, they also hang their pieces. I think they just blunder it. I'm black. See if I can manage a Sicilian. Oh, oh, I was so close. See what I do. To see if I can, if I'm facing a close game or a close variation or a close variation, but they directly have the queen out. I remember one of the way to do is push the d pawn up, protecting it, because the queen is attacking this 3 pawn, and only this pawn is completely hanging. This one, I could take it with king, even though that means that I lost my castle rights. But I win a queen. After this move, see if they try to challenge on the d file. If they do, I will just take it with my pawn. If they don't, I'll get my knight out, attacking the queen and the center pawn, and develop the knight. They get their bishop out and directly attacking my king. I could use bishop block or knight block. If I use bishop block, that also challenging their bishop. I could take it with queen. And also sort of developing my queen. If I use my knight, then after they take it, I take it with pawn. I do have more pawn in this, controlling the center. With that, I'll use knight. I'll push my a5 pawn up and then try to put more pressure on it and see if they want to take me or if they're gonna drop back. Okay, they drop back. I reckon I could directly push my pawn up just to put more pressure. Because if they take, I take, or they use a knight to take, I take, I am still one piece up. Or I can just get my knight out. I'll leave some tension here. Depends on what the queen will do. I might push my f-file, no, e-file pawn up, and then get my dark square bishop out, and then try to castle. They move it, and then it seems like they're attacking here. And the knight. Well, the knight is protected by the pawn, and here is protected by the bishop. And so I am not too worried. Or if I take the center pawn, that would give the queen another attack, and also I would control all the center. I quite like it, honestly. I can push on h6, give the queen some more pressure. or depends on what they do. They jump the queen to here. Knight is sort of protected. Well, they do have two pieces attacking it. This knight is hanging. I could develop the bishop here protecting it. So here after take, well, actually, if I develop my bishop to here, then that would, bishop will be hanging, queen could directly take it. So I feel like I could drop it to save it. And for the tension here, if they take, I take, they take again, I can still bring up my bishop to block and attacking them. So I think I will just drop back and also attacking the queen. I would still like to push the e5 pawn up, seeing that now I'm basically control the center. Okay, they didn't do that. I think it's time. They also preparing for their bishop to come out. I feel like they would probably go to here, the bishop to the bishop g5. It's have a lot of pressure on the knight. At this point, I feel like it's safe to develop the which bishop do I want to develop first? Develop this here with sort of preparing for their move of this. Developing the developing c7 that would add tension to here. I would develop the bishop first. Well, also, I can push the h6, also preventing them from going to here. I feel like this would be the best. And then I will develop the dark square bishop first, because that would allow me to castle. And then I'll do the c squared. They develop to here, which is protected, so I'm not too worried. Develop the light square bishop to d7. Okay, now I'm moving the bishop here. And then I'll castle and think about other things. They get their knight joining the game. Not too worried. So for here, I'll just move the rock. Wait, if I do this, they walk into a fog. Oh, but if they goes here, I'll still have to move my rock first. And I think if they take the bishop and knight trade is a fair trade. They jump back. With here, I feel like for here I can give it a check. And then I can move my bishop to here, protecting it and controlling the square. And if they take it, that's actually give me more advantage. I can move my queen to here, and then start to controlling this file. And I feel like that could be a good idea, though I have to be aware. They could, the bishop is sort of controlling that diagonal. They can move their knight here to attack my queen if they want, but they didn't. Which means, what do they want to do to move their bishop here? Controlling this diagonal? Castle. And now I'm thinking about including more things. Knight to here, attacking the queen could be good. Also adding more pressures here. Their knight is hanging. How can I win their knight? They try to include their knight into the game. So I was thinking about here. And then feel like I could get the bishop to here. Controlling here, or get the rook to the b file, also controlling this. I feel like if I can manage to get my queen to here, that would be close to checkmate. Move their queen. Knight is protected. Pawn is protected. They are lining up this way, which means if the queen take, I can take back. But also I'm actually art pieces. That too means that I can start to sacrifice and doing trade. I'm not too worried about it. Simply because I can just take it and they can't do much with their bishop. With here, I feel like I can get the rook up now. I want to get to here. If I take, they definitely gonna take. Okay, that's actually easier. I could directly go to here. If they don't take it, it's hard for me to get in to the b2, but they take it, which made it easy for me. I'll move 6. b5 was trapping a bishop after it moves to b3. After b5, trapping the bishop here. Trapping the bishop after I move to b3. C4 traps it. C4 traps it. Let me think about it. Try working. So after this move, bishop drop to b3, push the pawn up to c4, and attacking the bishop on the b3. They would have to give up a knight to at least win 2 pawns. Also, shortly before they castle, you could have checked them on a5 and win the bishop with the queen anyway. Move 16, bishop g4 wins the rock. If bishop g, well, if b5, that drop. Oh, that makes sense, because when I not actually thinking about that, I was like, oh, that drop to here, attacking the bishop drop, push this, push to c4, attacking the bishop, but they could directly take it. But then I realized that the b4 pawn is protecting it. That's actually really smart. So here, yeah, and also the knight would be sort of trapped as well, because these 2 places are all protected, and they can only drop back. That's really good point. Yeah, yeah. What is the next? Also, shortly before the castle, you could have checked them on a5. After they castle, I could check them on a5. a5? a5 will be here. You mean queen a5? Can't see how the thing could go to a5. And then what would be the check? Is that d2 to check, or is that here to check? Well, the knight is protecting here. Shortly. Oh, before the castle, I could have checked them on a5. Before the castle. So here, I go to a5, check them, and win a bishop. Ah, that makes sense. What were I thinking at that time? What was my move? Yeah, I was thinking about develop the bishop, and I didn't see. I was thinking about develop the bishop at that time. Yeah, I remember I was thinking about which bishop to develop and miss the queen. Could give them a check. Yeah, that's a really good point. Because also, they could probably drop it here, to stop them from lose the castling rights. Good point. What else? Move 16, bishop g4 wins the rock. Move 16, bishop. Move 16, bishop g4. Bishop g4. Like here. Ah. At this point, I was more focusing. I remember at this point, I was more focusing on the tension here because I feel like I was very close to checkmate, so I didn't thinking about winning more pieces. But that is a really good point. I remember at that time also thinking about I could directly take the knight here. I'm just focusing on trade. That's a really good point. Yeah. I'm definitely trying to working on my board viewing, and I watch building the habits on YouTube, and they say like at the early stage, the difference between winning and losing is can you manage to not hang your piece and also try to take opponent's hanging piece as much as you could. Oh, thank you. I'll take it. Cool. I will have another game. I think it's enough time for me to play another game. Okay, I'm wide. If nothing happens, I'll play Italian. Well, probably not here. Here. Develop the knight, controlling the center, attacking their piece. Interesting. A few thoughts. Well, they can directly take it, attacking my knight. My knight could take here. If I push my pawn, they take it here. Me move my knight. Well, I can't directly take them. That would also preventing it, but that do prompts a quick trade. I can get my knight out. If they take, I take it with my knight. That is also a choice. Yeah, I'll get my knight out. They pin my knight. If they take, I take it with my queen, develop my queen. I'm just gonna push it here, give it some pressure to see if they're gonna take or they're gonna drop. After this move, now it's slightly hard for me to develop my bishop because here is controlled by my opponent. I reckon I'll take it, and because it's protected by my knight, so the queen won't take it. And so that I can try to develop my bishop. For here, if they take my knight, I can take it with pawn. Also, or I can take it with my queen. So I am not too worried. Another thing I thought, well, if I take it here, my queen is also protecting it. So I also don't have to worry too much about losing the center to the queen. And next step depends on what they do. If they take, I'll take with pawn. And then I can push my pawn, support the pawn here. They add pressure on this. I can go here. My next thought would be here. I'm thinking about queens, queen f5, attacking the e-file pawn, give them a check, and also attacking the knight. They try to challenge C file. I could let them take it, but also in that case, they will lose a protection. Knight could go here. Oh, if they take, the bishop could be developed to here, also protecting the pawn here. I think it's fine for me to move the queen here. Try to give them a check. Though they could move their queen or directly castle. It's also fair for me to push my pawn out and try to develop the bishop here. That would stop me from develop the light square bishop, so I can directly castle after that. Other thing I can do, move the bishop to the open file, control the open file. Yeah, I'll still do the queen. Still sort of unsure. Actually, I'll move the rock. Yeah, that would be a good move because that would attack the queen and also protect it by the knight. Where should my queen go? Here or here or here? No, because of the knight. Here I can't go. Here will be undeveloped. I personally think here would be a good place because that would also protecting my home. I feel like they're probably gonna castle, and I'm thinking about trying to challenge their home. And now it's to push here so that I can develop my home, bishop, and then I'll do castle. And also, if I can get my bishop to this diagonal, and if they manage to castle, that would also be a checkmate, though I do have to get rid of the knight first. And currently they are protected. So that would be my next thought. And after they take, I'll take with my bishop and then push the c5 pawn up, supporting here, and then my queen will be free. They get their knight out, connecting this to knight, and also could go to here. Well, if they do go to here, that's actually do me a favor. Here, can't see any. If they go here next, that would attack my bishop. Well, I can still solve it by pushing this pawn up. If they don't take it, I am likely to take them. They try to attack my queen. I can go here. Probably not gonna take it because they can directly take me. Here is also a bad idea. Here is controlled by my opponent. They could just use the pawn take. Here they could just push this pawn up to take. Drop back. could be a solution. Or this way back could also be a solution. Here, probably no, because they can directly take it. Here is controlled by the knight. I think strop back would be fine. That do sort of block. Oh, I can do CA3, stopping them from castling. If they don't castle on this will. I can still try to do that to see if I can win their rock. Or I can do here and see what I do. I could also castle. They add another here. Currently it's only protected by these. Drop my bishop back would be my thought. And then I'll push this the c-file pawn up. If I get my rock here, oh, probably, oh, no, if I get my rock here, that would protecting this space for me to skew the rock. They try to line up on this file, adding more pressure here. I would probably castle now, because if I castle, there is not much point for them to win anything. And then I could get my rock out, just to add another. What do I like first? Is there anything I can do here? I feel like if I get my queen here, I could take them by taking the knight, though that would be unprotected. If I allow them to push, that would also remove the support for the e-file pawn. I would just take it. To get the knight down, it goes to the space, with here pawn take, with here queen take, and with here pawn take, and with here bishop take. I feel like it's safe to get my rock out and protect for this move. Oh, okay, fine, fine. Get my. I can still do that, I guess. Let's see what they do. This knight is hanging. It will be nice to win it. Okay, I'm gonna use a bishop to trade for a rock. King take it. I do can goes here to check to give them a check, and then get this pawn. How can I include more in the game? Give them a check. Oh, actually, just realized their knight will be hanging after they move the queen. I feel like this would also be a good move. They try to attack my rock. I feel like push it here so that I can include it in this would be nice. I can also try to attack the queen, protecting by this pawn. Oh, I have 9 seconds left. Queen drop. Probably push it to here. And queen is watching. Drop. Oh my god. Oh my god. Where can my queen go? Not take it. Queen's watching. Here and here isn't smart. Goes to here. That is not protected though. And I lost my dark square bishop. Probably drop it to here. Because I was art pieces. I should have focusing on trading, and I'm trying to see what I can do. It can go to h9, h9, h8. Oh, it's so true. So true. I didn't thought about going this far because that would also win the queen. Yeah, true. B3 on move 18. Oh, so thank you. I assume you're referring this. They just ponder a lot because of the bishop a3, bishop a3. Stop them from castling this bishop h3. This is possible on move knight to move knight. I didn't quite understand. Move 18. I was right. Bishop. What is RB3? Sorry, what is RB3? I see that is, it's rock b3. Oh, I think I somehow haven't seen the R, because I see a lot of the like bishop and the knight with like B and start with B and K. I'll move 18. Oh, okay, sorry. Bishop A3. Bishop A3. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what that is. Oh, yeah, I think I understand. Second one. Stop. When did the castle? If I swap here. Are you referring to if I develop the bishop here first, that would stop them from castling? Yeah, what were I thinking at that time? I dropped my queen and then the castle. But what's happened here? Yeah, I was thinking about challenging the, like getting rid of the pawn here. I mean, this move is fair. At this move, I could do this. Here is a, yeah, I was thinking about start to challenging on here. So I didn't see this. That could be a really good move. And after that, I could challenge here. It's possible I'll move knight to. Yeah, that's quite early. If they push up, I can directly take it. Yeah, I remember at this point, I do this is to still keeping the support here. Yeah, that's a really like really important insight. Yeah. Cool. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And also you give so many like insightful opinion as well. I am going to have lunch soon. So that will be the game for today. Thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow.